OB61, a very exciting but also controversial update. Let's get right into it. So there's two new emotes coming to the flare box. We have Liquid Courage for Fernando. This reminds me of that scene in one of the trailers where Fernando was drinking behind his barrier while it was just absorbing damage from Barrick, I think it was. There's also Calling Card for Maeve. I really like this one. The effect is different depending on the blades, and that's really cool. They teased that this reminds them of Zoro, and that was a cosmetic item that was data mined. So either they're teasing a skin that's coming, or the data mined item was this emote. I hope it's not. Emotes don't really ever get data mined, and I really want to see what a Zoro Maeve skin would look like. As for skins, we have a new uncommon for Sky, Pilot Suit. When Hi-Rez Holt said this was the best uncommon they've ever made, he wasn't kidding. It kinda looks like it could be a rare. There's also a skin you can get by connecting your Hi-Rez account to your Facebook account, Resplendent Genos. As for epics, we have one that actually wasn't data mined, Oni Talus. I don't think anyone had a clue this was coming. It's amazing how fast they've been making skins for newer characters. This epic follows the feudal theme, like with the Ash and Sky skins. There will also be a feudal box that'll have those three skins in it. Here's the voice pack in case you want to hear it.
What's up? You lost? Must be if you've run into me. Don't worry, I'll get you back, but let's have some fun first. You look quite gullible. Sorry, I mean that in a good way. Whoops! I always take my pranks too far. You should see the look on your face! Under this mask lies my most powerful weapon, deadly cuteness.
Moving on to the VIP store stuff, we have Direwolf Tyra as the rotational skin this time around. It's a really cool skin. I just wish the character herself was a bit better. As for new stuff, Bomb King is getting his legendary dance emote. Bomb King is a very out there character, so I think this emote fits him perfectly. There is also a new epic skin for Drogos, DZ03 Draco. My Mecha Drogos is here. I'm so excited for it. They teased that the VFX for the skin was amazing, and they weren't kidding. I cannot wait to get my hands on this. The voice pack is also pretty intimidating. Here, listen.
Enemy life expectancy, 0%. Power disparity in my favor. Loading destruction core. My performance is unmatched. Organic life forms removed. I need to practice more. I've gotten a little rusty.
That's it for the cosmetics. Let's talk about our newest frontline, Terminus, the Fallen. That title is so badass, I want it. Anyway, this big stone giant is, well, big. He's the biggest character in the game, and his kit fits perfectly with that. His weapon is a big axe, and it's actually the first real melee weapon in the game, if you don't count old Grover's melee since that got removed. This axe hits hard for 700 damage a swing, so you don't want to get into melee range of this guy. However, even if you do keep your distance, he can still hit you with his right click. Calamity Blast fires a 250 damage projectile, and it's on a very low cooldown. His Q also affects it. His Q puts up this energy barrier in front of him, and it siphons attacks like how Reversal does. But unlike Reversal, this ability has no cooldown. It's on a resource system, and it has charges. The more damage you take, the more charges you can store up to 4 at least. Depending on how many you have, you'll fire additional Calamity Blasts. You can get off some massive damage at key moments with this. As for his F, it makes him leap forward, spin around, and drop his axe down into a small AoE attack. This will deal 500 damage. It's kind of a slow leap. He is a big guy after all. Now for his ultimate. This may scare a few of you. When you die, you can self-revive. You'll start to reassemble your body, and when you're fully reassembled, you'll release a massive explosion that deals an incredible 4,000 damage. It doesn't go through barriers, so your tanks can still protect you from the explosion. I'm glad he's so big to balance this revive out. It's going to be pretty easy for BK to stack chain reaction bombs on him. I honestly have no idea how powerful Terminus will be in the game, but I'm very eager to play him on the PTS this weekend. Even if he proves to not be so good, I want to play him a ton, just to get that title. As for his legendaries, he has one that gives Calamity Blast 100 more damage, one that stuns with his leap, and one that makes it so you take 35% less damage when below 50% health. Now let's move on to balance. In case you didn't see yesterday's video, they are adding a third person toggle to the game. There will be a hotkey that will instantly swap you between third and first person. There's also going to be diminishing returns. Right now, your strongest percentage for something is what's solely used. So let's say you have Nimble 3 with Victor and you start sprinting. You only get the 65% speed bonus from sprint, and the Nimble 3 bonus does nothing until you stop sprinting. But now it'll take the highest value and it'll stack the other lower values on top of it, but the other lower values will be weaker than they normally would be alone. Movement speed can go up to a max of 150%, while everything else only goes up to 95%, like cauterize, damage reduction, stuff like that. This next one is going to be on the PTS and isn't going live with the next update because they want to test it. It's a wrecker rework. Instead of making your weapon deal more damage to barriers, it'll make you do 10, 20, or 30% more damage to the frontline characters themselves. The HP of all the barriers will be reduced accordingly to compensate for this. Again, this is only on the PTS for testing, for now at least. So try it on the PTS and give high-res your feedback, please. I don't know if this will be good or bad for the game, but when we figure that out, we have to communicate it to them. Now for character-specific balance. One character is getting a rework. It's Buck. His health will be lowered from 2,800 to 2,300. His base speed is going up from 380 to 385. His weapon will only have 4 ammo, but it'll deal 800 damage to the body and 1,200 to the head. The reload is much faster and the spread of the pellets is less erratic. His net shot cooldown is going from 12 to 10 seconds and the duration is going from 1.5 to 2 seconds. Recovery now has a 1-second channel that heals for 1,000 health right away. Heroic Leap's cooldown is going from 6 to 10 seconds and his ultimate will now grant you 60% attack speed and infinite ammo instead of everything it does right now. So yes, it won't reset your cooldowns either. Alright, so they did a lot to him. They took away a lot, but they also gave him a lot too. I think he's going to be a lot better, and hopefully he'll be viable. It'll be nice to have more than 2 competitive viable flanks, right? Wait. They're doing what to Maeve? Oh, god damn it. I'll talk about her in a second. Barrack is getting the damage on Tinkerin reduced from 650 to 550, and Architectonics will no longer make your turrets instant fire. I get why they're doing this. Barrack does a ton of damage, DPS character level damage, so they want to bring it down a little. He'll still do more than the other tanks, but not more than some DPS characters. Okay, now for Maeve. So as you guys know, we only have 2 viable flanks right now after they nerfed them all pretty much into the ground. So the best thing to do would be to make the other flanks good as well, so we could see how well they all size up to each other and get a feel for how balanced they are when they actually have competition. That is not happening. Maeve is getting hit with some nerfs. The damage of her daggers is going down from 450 to 420. This will make her dagger pounce dagger combo deal a max of 2,180 damage, so Maeve will no longer be able to kill a 2,200 health target with her burst combo. You're better off using 3 sets of daggers if the target isn't already weak. 3 sets of daggers takes about 3 seconds, which is pretty slow. I'm surprised they hit Maeve's damage, but didn't touch Andro because, 2 crits and 1 hit to the body with Andro kills in 0.36 seconds, while 4 hits to the body with Andro kills in half a second. Not to mention, there's the Darkstalker Field Study Luminary combo going on right now, because that's a whole lot of fun. I mean, everyone loves CSGO level time to kill, right? That's why we play Paladins. On top of that, Midnight will be reduced by Resilience, but it cannot be reduced below 2 seconds. A lot of ultimates have this little safety thing where it can't be reduced too much. I don't really mind this one. It makes sense that it would get affected by Resilience. It is technically, SCC after all. I can't say I'm in love with this next one though. Artful Dodger will no longer cleanse debuffs like Cauterize. It will still remove CC though. That's a big nerf to pair with her damage nerf. I'm really hoping Maeve will still be good after these nerfs. The Artful Dodger one worries me the most, but I'm thinking it won't be that bad. If it is, then I really hope Maeve doesn't fall off the face of the game for months like last time. People love this character a lot, and it sucks that she keeps getting nerfed because people find her annoying or have a hard time killing her. And that's pretty much why Maeve always gets nerfed. Not for a good reason, like she's overperforming, because she most definitely is not. Her win rate across the whole game is 52%, while somebody like Torv, who is also getting nerfed, has a win rate of 61%. See, now that's a good reason to nerf a character. On to Talus, he is getting the pre-fire time of Blitz Upper increased from 0.2 seconds to 0.3 seconds. This ability happens very fast, and it can be very confusing for the person who gets hit by it. I know it is kind of a nerf to a weak character, but it's gonna feel better for the victim. They're also buffing his Faustian Bargain legendary though. It will now also reduce the base cooldown of Rune of Travel. Torvald, like I said, is getting nerfed. He is getting damage falloff added to his gauntlet. Projectiles don't normally ever get damage falloff. The only one that has it is Barrick's Tinkerin projectile. Torv kinda needed it though. The damage that gauntlet can put out is crazy. So for Tyra, her auto rifle will deal more damage over range, and Firebomb will now deal 4% of a target's max health as damage per tick instead of 3%. Victor will also deal more damage over range. Zin's counter will now give improved visual feedback, so please stop attacking it. Anyway, that's pretty much it. A lot of cool stuff is coming, but also some controversial stuff, like I said. And that's pretty much it, guys. I want to thank you all for coming. I very much appreciate it, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye!